Man, you're rocking it. You're delegating, you're meal prepping, you're protecting your mornings, and you're more exhausted than you've ever been. Come on, let's talk about it. Does this sound familiar? Because there's a thing that no one is saying out loud. There are five things that high achieving women that I see in the work I do. These women do these things in the name of fixing their work life balance. It's quietly making it worse. And you know what the maddening part is? Every single one of these things feels like it's the right move. So today we're going to get into the five traps that keep most of the capable women I know running on empty, even when they're doing all the things that feel right. Are you ready? Come on, let's jump in. I want to start with some numbers. It's going to be quick and it's going to be painless, I promise, because I want you to feel less alone and more clear eyed at the same time. So, 49% of women report burnout versus men. So, there's roughly a 4% gap there. And I will share the link later for those of you who love to read the details. Basically, researchers are calling this an achievement gap. So, now there's a name for it. Women are shouldering most of not only the housework, but the same housework at work. And all of the initiatives that leadership is bringing in, they aren't working. This isn't a discipline problem. It's a, you know what, it actually isn't a morning routine problem. It's a structural problem that most women are trying to solve with productivity hacks. And there's a mismatch between the real problem and the solutions that you've been handed. And this is exactly why you keep landing at zero. So I'm going to name these five. And in fact, if you're ready to step into your power, just type power in the comments because you're ready to actually flex. Because I'm about to open your eyes. Are you ready? The first one, you use your flexibility in secret. You have the flexible work arrangement. You negotiated it because you know you needed it. And what do? You use it like it's something to hide. You log on early to compensate and you never mention it in meetings. You are performing actually the full schedule in public, right? And quietly living a private one, like the flexible one. And I get it. It's one thing to have the policy, but to use it, that's a whole different thing. Because what do we know? We know that people who don't necessarily show up all the time in conventional ways, they're perceived as uncommitted and they're deprioritized for promotions. So no, you're not imagining it. There is a penalty. But let me tell you, the answer is not to hide. The answer is to choose workplaces where senior leaders model flexibility openly. Because when you use your flex time in private, it doesn't protect you. It just means that you're carrying two full time jobs, the visible one and the invisible one. In fact, let me ask you, did you ever work from home and feel like you had to prove yourself by working extra hard or staying online a little bit longer so that way others wouldn't view you differently? Come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You say things to yourself, I gotta be green. I have to stay green. I can only pop out for a little bit, right? That's actually extra. You're taxing yourself extra, right? You can't even enjoy the errands or whatever this flex is because you are secretly tethered to your desk and to the promise of being normal like everyone else. We don't even ask about these things in interviews. In fact, this is what you really should do. In your interviews, you should ask, hey, how many senior leaders actually use the flex policy that you tout on your website? And wait for not only HR to answer, but then ask the hiring manager in real time to get a really good gauge of what is being said versus what is being used. Staying late to prove that you're serious. Oh, come on. You've fallen for this one. I know I did. We carry extra hours and we carry the extra weight. And we're not staying late because we didn't finish the work, right? You're staying late because you learned early that availability, it reads as dedication, right? That was handed to you, probably by who? A workplace that rewarded it. And now it lives in your body as a rule. I want you to look in the mirror. That's the first step in my framework. You're not managing your time. No, when you're doing this, you're managing your perception. And those are two completely different jobs. Are you seeing a theme here? We talked about the two jobs of using your flex role and not using your flex role, right? And now another set of two jobs by always being available. Come on. Number three, you're ready for it. You pick up the second shift because it's faster, right? Instead of delegating things to other people, you just get it done, right? Instead of waiting on your direct report to figure out, hey, how do I make all of this work together seamlessly? How do I fix that problem in the Excel worksheet? How do I fix that PowerPoint? You do it for them. Come on. Am I the only one? Because it's quicker if you do it. Or instead of like you get like a quick ask from senior leadership, and instead of explaining it to your team, you just take it on because it's easier if you do it, it's quicker if you do it. But guess what? That means you also own all of the follow up, all of the different initiatives, and secretly you are preventing your team from growing or having a learning opportunity, a growth opportunity, because you keep picking up the slack. If everyone thinks that you are the fairy godmother or Cinderella and you just wave a wand and things are done, how do they learn? You're creating a gap, and that gap, it's not a misunderstanding, it's invisible labor, the planning, the anticipating, the managing everything, right? It's like you're keeping your household running, but you're like the glue that keeps the team running too. You absorb it because you know negotiating anything else takes longer than doing it. And in the short term, guess what? You're right. But in the long term, you are funding everyone else's recovery with your own capacity. Ooh, did you think about that? The it's faster, I'll just do it calculation. Yeah, that's a short-term budget that bankrupts you in the long game. Let me tell you about a moment when it happened for me, okay? Like I enjoyed empowering my team. Hey, you guys got it, but I noticed that they were staying later. They were dealing with all of the whiplash from senior leadership changing their mind left and right. I'll jump in. I'll help because guess what? If I help, I show that I'm a team player. Let me tell you, I was in over my head because I was not only balancing my work, but I was balancing this small ask that yes, I can do it within 10 minutes, but I'm the director. I'm the senior manager. I'm supposed to be doing those things versus these little steps. So instead of doing that, you know what I should have been doing? I should have been negotiating more space and more time. But secretly, I'm a people pleaser. So I was like, sure, no problem. We can do it. But I paid for it. Okay. I want you to be aware. Are you ready for number 4? You use achievement as an anxiety management strategy. Let me tell you, right? I shared a LinkedIn post, right, about this. In the comments, they were out of control. A bunch of people said that professional women, no matter how much they achieve, it never feels like enough. And researchers, I mentioned it earlier, they call it achievement anxiety. I'm so glad that there's a name for how we feel now, right? But here's what's actually happening. You're not chasing the promotion because you want the role. You're chasing it because the doing things, learning new things, all of that, it keeps the anxiety quiet. And it saves you from looking in the mirror and even thinking, is this what I really want to do? Is this where I see myself in the next 2 years, let alone 5? Is this the person's team I really want to be on? No. So you just keep doing it, you keep chasing it. The doing, the busy, the chaos, that learning curve, it keeps all the things, all the questioning your pace, all those things, it keeps it quiet. And the brutal truth is, a promotion, it doesn't fix it. We think that it will, but it doesn't. It just gives the anxiety a bigger stage and a higher salary. This sounds like a recipe for burnout. Do you hear it? When was the last time you finished something significant and genuinely felt satisfied versus immediately moving on? to the next thing. I got number 5. I promised you I would give you 5, and here's the last one. Waiting for a better season, right? Once Q4 is over, I will take some time for myself and my team, and I'm going to focus on strategy. Once I get through this project and we reach the finish line, I will fix that broken process because I have been manually fixing it just so that way we can keep everything on time. Come on, you know what this sounds like. Maybe it sounds like once I get the promotion or once the kids are in school, you've learned to defer your own well-being to a future of you that keeps moving just like deadlines. What are you waiting for permission to want? And are you exactly who you think is going to give it to you? Yeah. Who do you think is going to give it to you? Maybe that's a better way to rephrase it. Think about these 5 things. None of these 5 things are character flaws. No, they're not. Every single one of them made sense at some point. And you learn to use flexibility in secret because someone penalized you for using it visibly. You stayed late because a workplace rewarded it. That was me. I stayed late. You absorbed the second shift because negotiating it was exhausting, and you used achievements to manage the anxiety because it worked for a while. Like, let's call a thing, okay? Look, you are deferring your own needs because you were taught that that's what good women do. Now, the move is not to shame the pattern. The move is to see it, to hold up a mirror and to see it clearly without judgment, and then to make a different decisions. In fact, where's your mirror? You probably don't even have a mirror handy. Pull up that cell phone. Listen, selfie mode. Pull that thing up. Look at that person who was looking at you. What do you want? Is this where you want to be? What do we shift? What can we change? You have permission to do that. And it's the first step. Let me tell you, you are not exhausted because you're failing. You're exhausted because you have been doing the things that you thought were right for a long period of time, and now they no longer serve you. You know what's exhausting? Feeling like you always have to prove yourself at work. It's like, be smarter, be louder, be more visible. Meanwhile, your actual value, it gets lost in the performance of it all. So here's the real question. Are people recognizing your brilliance or just rewarding your ability to stay on? Take the visibility versus value quiz and find out.